Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Building with AppSheet series. I'm Ann Ho, and I'm a product manager on the AppSheet team, and today we're diving into how to get your Google Sheet ready to use with AppSheet. When you're importing sheets into AppSheet, the biggest headache is usually poorly formatted data. AppSheet apps, like most apps, are kind of picky about structure. They want your data to look like neat tables, kind of like a database. But don't worry, you don't need to be a database whiz for this. First off, header rows. These are like the boss of your table, sitting at the top and telling everyone what's what. Make sure your header row is clear, especially if it's not the very first row in your sheet. You can make it bold and use keywords like name, address, or total, so AppSheet knows it's the header. Next up, column names. These are super important. Avoid using special characters or symbols like exclamations or asterisks in your column names, and keep them short and sweet. It can also help to use words that give AppSheet a clue about the data type, like due date or sales price. Let's take a look at a sample spreadsheet that needs some formatting love. This one's for managing tasks across different projects, but it's a bit messy. See all these extra rows at the top? They might be helpful for us humans, but it's just noise to AppSheet. We'll make the header row bold and clean up those column names, getting rid of special characters and using descriptive words. Oh, and don't forget to give your sheet a good name and avoid using special characters there too. Now, let's talk about the data itself. Typos and messy data can cause problems, but if you clean things up beforehand, AppSheet can actually help keep your data tidy in the future. We'll use some of the tools built right in Google Sheets to fix errors and make sure each row is unique. Here's our sample sheet again. We'll start by formatting the numbers. This gives AppSheet another hint about the data type. Then we'll use conditional formatting to find and highlight errors. Our first rule is that these columns need to contain dates, so we'll use the isDate function to look for when this isn't true. We can add other rules to check if the start date is before the end date, or if the email addresses look legit. Now that all these errors are highlighted, we need to go and fix them. We can see them all easily here, but if you've got a lot of data rows, filters are your friend for finding and fixing those pesky errors. Well, that's done, but there are still some issues with our data. Look at our status column. It's all over the place. Consistency is key too. We'll use the Sheets drop-down feature to make sure only certain words can be used. Now we can easily spot and fix any rogue entries. And we can add drop-downs over in the project name column too. There's more you can do with data validation and cross-references by using multiple tables. So check out the episodes on working with data in AppSheet and using multiple tables in AppSheet. Another thing to keep in mind is that AppSheet likes unique records. Unlike Sheets, where duplicates are no big deal, AppSheet wants each row to have its own special ID, like a fingerprint. Let's go back to our sheet. We can remove duplicates using the Sheets Data Cleanup feature. And just like that, we're down to one less row. Next, we'll add a unique ID column, what AppSheet calls a key. Okay, our sheet is looking pretty good now. Let's see what happens when we bring it into AppSheet. Ta-da! AppSheet has created a basic app for us with the correct data types. And remember when we assigned a drop-down to the status column? Here it is in our app, and AppSheet made it an enum type, which is just a fancy way of saying it's a drop-down. When we click into the properties, we can see just those 4 possible options. It's like magic. And AppSheet is pretty smart, but you can always tweak things in the app editor if needed. And here's the cool part. AppSheet automatically creates views or pages for your app, so you have a working app in seconds. You can even use it from right here in the editor preview. Now you can customize your app with more views, add some flair, and even create some bots to automate your workflows, like I did. But those are topics for another episode. So there you have it. With a little cleanup in Google Sheets, you can create awesome apps in AppSheet. Thanks for joining me today, and don't forget to subscribe to this series for more AppSheet tips and tricks.